itself is not something ready-made, but something in continuous formation through choice of action.
Have you ever wondered why you start things with so much energy, only to quit a few days later? Why does your to-do list feel impossible, even when you want to succeed? Here's the truth. Motivation isn't what you think it is. That burst of energy you're waiting for, it's not coming. Not consistently, not reliably. Because motivation isn't magic, it's a myth. So what actually keeps people going, even when they don't feel like it? Let's break it down with real psychology and real solutions. First, let's talk about why motivation fails you. We've been taught to wait for motivation, to feel inspired before we take action. But psychology says we've got it backwards. In The Motivation Myth, author Jeff Hayden breaks it down clearly. Motivation doesn't come first, action does. Think about it. How many times have you forced yourself to start a workout, even though you didn't feel like it, only to find yourself fully in the zone 10 minutes later? That's because momentum builds motivation, not the other way around. Waiting to feel ready is a trap. The trick is to just begin, no matter how small the steps, because once you start moving, motivation shows up to keep you going. Most people think dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical, kicks in when you achieve something. But research from Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman reveals a surprising truth. Dopamine is released during the pursuit of a goal, not the finish line. In other words, your brain rewards you not for winning, but for chasing. This changes everything. It means the key to staying motivated is to keep chasing progress, not perfection. One way to hack this? Break your big goals into tiny winnable steps. Use checklists, track your streaks, create progress bars, make every small win visible. Because every time you check something off, even the smallest task, your brain gives you a hit of dopamine. That hit keeps you moving. Here's a secret most people miss. True motivation comes from identity, not goals. In Atomic Habits, James Clear explains that we stay consistent with the person we believe we are. It's not about what you want to achieve, it's about who you think you are. There's even a study to back this up. Researchers found that people who were told, "You are a voter," were significantly more likely to vote than those told, "Please vote." Why? Because identity is powerful. So instead of saying, "I want to write a book," say, "I'm a writer." Not, "I'm trying to eat healthy," but "I'm someone who takes care of my body." When your actions align with your identity, motivation becomes automatic. If your identity is shaped by what you repeat, what identity are you reinforcing without even realizing it? Comment with the first habit that comes to mind. Don't overthink it. That's the point. Why systems beat motivation? Let's be honest, willpower runs out. And if you're relying on it to stay motivated, you're setting yourself up to fail. That's why systems matter. Systems take the pressure off willpower. They make action automatic. Behavior scientist B.J. Fogg, creator of the Tiny Habits method, puts it simply. Shrink the task until it's too small to fail. Don't aim to read 20 pages. Just open the book. Don't commit to an hour at the gym. Just put on your shoes. Simple motions dissolve resistance before it can form. They spark movement, not through force but through ease. Most importantly, they make consistency possible, even when motivation has vanished. It's not about doing more, it's about removing friction from the beginning. So what really keeps us going long term? According to psychologists Detsy and Ryan, it comes down to 3 things: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. This is the foundation of what's known as self-determination theory. First, autonomy. You need to feel like you're in control of your choices, not being forced, not following someone else's script. Yours. Second, mastery. Progress matters. When you can see yourself getting better, it fuels you to keep going. And third, purpose. What you're doing has to matter to you. It has to feel meaningful on a personal level. When your goals hit all 3 of these, You're not just motivated, you're locked in. So here's the tip. Frame your goals in a way that aligns with all three. Not, I have to work out, but I choose to take care of myself. Not, I should learn this, but I want to master it. And always, remind yourself why it matters. That's how motivation lasts. One of the simplest and most powerful motivation tools is something called an implementation intention. Psychologist Peter Gollwitzer found in a 1999 study that when people planned when, where, and how they would take action, their success rate jumped by a staggering 91%. The formula is easy. If X happens, then I'll do Y. For example, if I get home by 6 p.m., I'll go for a walk before dinner. Or, if it's Monday morning, I'll spend 10 minutes writing. These small mental cues turn vague goals into clear commitments. They prepare your brain to act automatically. So stop hoping you'll find the right moment. Create it, write it down, set the reminder, make it part of your routine. Ever noticed how you speed up when you're almost done with a task? That's not a coincidence, it's psychology. In 1932, psychologist Clark Hull discovered the goal gradient effect. People naturally work harder as they get closer to a goal. One real-world example: loyalty cards. When customers were given a card with 10 slots, plus 2 bonus stamps already filled, they completed it faster than those starting with a blank one. Why? Because visible progress creates urgency and momentum. You can apply this to your own goals. Use a habit tracker. Mark off checkboxes. Track points. Chart your streak. When progress is visual, your brain leans in. You feel closer, and closer means faster. We like to think we're logical, but when it comes to action, emotion is what truly moves us. Studies show that emotionally charged goals are more memorable, more motivating, and more likely to stick. Because it's not the goal that drives you, it's the feeling behind it. So ask yourself, why do you really want this? Is it for your family, your freedom, your self-worth? A goal with no emotion is just a task, but when you connect it to something personal, something that matters, it becomes powerful. Remember this, you don't need more discipline, you need a reason. Ever daydream about your goals and get that temporary rush, only to never act on them? There's a reason for that. Visualization alone can actually backfire. Psychologist Gabriele Oettingen found that when people only imagine success, their energy drops, because the brain thinks it's already won. The solution? A technique called WOOP, wish, outcome, obstacle, plan. Wish, what do you want to achieve? Outcome, what's the best result? Obstacle, what's likely to get in your way? Plan, what will you do when that obstacle shows up? This simple mental shift, called mental contrasting, turns fantasy into action. Because now, you're not just dreaming, you're preparing. And that preparation creates real, lasting motivation. By now, you've probably realized the truth. Motivation isn't magic, it's strategy. The people who stay consistent, they're not superhuman. They just work smarter. They start before they feel ready. They build systems that carry them through. And they use psychology to their advantage, turning habits, identity, and emotion into fuel. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating conditions where progress becomes automatic. Because success isn't about being motivated all the time. It's about knowing what to do when motivation disappears. You're not lazy. You're just running the wrong playbook. You've been told to wait for motivation, to feel inspired before you act. But the truth is, motivation isn't what drives action. Action creates motivation. You don't need more willpower. You need better tools, systems, strategy, and a mindset grounded in psychology, not hype. So if you're ready to stop relying on fleeting motivation and start building real momentum, the breakthrough isn't waiting for motivation, it's moving without it. So if this hits differently, save it. Come back to it. Let it mark your turning point. Drop a like if you're done waiting, and if you're serious about rewiring the way you think, Stick around. You're not alone in this. Welcome to Self by Default, and don't forget to subscribe.